Okay, so I've been meaning to do a reaction to this brilliant, mesmerizing, and famous song by Procol Harum, Wider Shade of Pale from 1967. I've been meaning to do it for a very long time. Finally got around to looking it up, and I found this rendition that they did in 2006 in Denmark in an outdoor amphitheater with a full orchestra. Okay, I got to hear this. So I'm going to listen to this version first. I mean, if there was ever a song that was built for a full orchestra, this has got to be one of the top ones. It's famous, of course, for its almost haunting organ play, its bass, and its drum work. And of course, with the vocals of Gary Brooker, you're looking at him right there. A lot older than he was in 1968, 38 years older. I guess that would put him like early 60s, maybe something like that. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to hearing what his voice sounds like. And this song, this is obviously one of the most famous songs of all time. It sold, I think, more than 10 million records as a single. Not too many have done that, 40 or 50, I think, all time. But this song is known for three primary things in my book. One is the organ. Amazing. I can't wait to see if they have organ here with the full orchestra and how they integrate it in if they do have it. That will be fascinating to listen to. And what they're going to do with the orchestra as well. Okay, so is the organ. Two is his voice. Gary Brooker's voice on this is so compelling, so almost haunting in a way, and plaintive. I mean, he's got this sort of plaintive aspect to his voice, very emotional. So the organ and the voice, and then of course number three is the lyrics. I mean, it's got some of the most famous lyrics of all time. I mean, they just don't write lyrics like this anymore, friends, do they? I mean, there's only one artist that I know of in modernity, Grace Vanderwall, who writes brilliant, mysterious lyrics. But this one has got to be one of the top five lyrically of all time. What does it mean? Who the hell knows? You feel like you know what it means. It's about a boy and a girl. That's what Keith Reid himself, the main lyricist on this Keith Reid himself said. It's about a girl who drops boy. You know, says it's over. And then I think he said he doesn't get into much detail on this. He said that he meant for it to be evocative. You know, the ceiling blows away, and doing cartwheels on the floor and all that. So, and the miller told his tale. So he said it's just all evocative. That he wasn't on drugs. That he just wrote this, and I think he said that a wider shade of pale. He heard it at a party. So he heard some guy use that phrase, she's a wider shade of pale, which I find brilliant. And I believe it's the first time that it was ever used, or the first time that it ever became public that it was used. And as well as We Skip the Light Fandango, I believe that's the first time that was ever used. What a brilliant way to start a song. Anyway, so that being said, organ, vocals, and lyrics. I'm going to jump into the lyrics for a few minutes before we get going so we can have a little bit of context on this. If you don't want to hear me talk about the lyrics for a few minutes, just skip forward to the reaction. But I find the lyrics just fascinating. And these professionals, critics, regular people have been going over these lyrics for decades. So I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm just going to tell you what I think they seem to be about to me. And I want to start with what I got from listening to this song the very first time in the late 70s when I was a teenager, blown away by the sound of it, and then wondering what the hell. To me, it was about a romantic experience that didn't go well. And evidently that's what he tried to get across. And I think that's why it's so popular. People get that. And then the sort of mystery of the lyrics add that to it. It gives it almost a magical spell. This song has that sort of magical, mysterious spell with a girding of concrete relationship or, sexual tryst or whatever it was that really meant something. So just going over it real quick. I mean, we skipped the light fandango. I mean, obviously that's sort of a play off of Trip the Light Fantastic. And I just really like that he came up with something different. That's really fantastic. We skipped the light fandango, turned cartwheels across the floor. I mean, he wanted to be evocative. That's evocative. I was feeling kind of seasick. So obviously they've been drinking, but the crowd called out for more. Hey, keep it going. I mean, what a great image, those 4 lines. The room was humming harder, drunk. I mean, I've been there. As the ceiling flew away, I think I said blew away a while ago. The ceiling flew away. What an amazing image again, so evocative. When we called out for another drink, the waiter brought a tray. Been there, done that. So far it's very grounded. I mean, it is terrifically written. It's evocative and it's metaphorical. Ceiling flew away. And were they really doing cartwheels across the floor? Probably not. Probably felt like they were. But anyway, it's metaphorical. It's evocative, but it's grounded. So it's pretty straightforward up to the waiter brought a tray. And then the next, of course, it goes into the chorus. And so it was that later, as the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned a wider shade of pale. She said there. Okay, so that's the chorus. What the hell does that mean? I mean, it's so extraordinary, so compelling in that, because it is specific. Her face turned a wider shade of pale. Great line. And so it was that later. What does he mean by later? So something is going on later. As the miller told his tale. There's no miller around telling a tale, so he's got to be referring to something. So it's either he's talking about the miller in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. You know who tells this tale? I think it's the second tale of the Canterbury Tales. And then, or it's Rumpelstiltskin, where the miller had his daughter who spun flax into gold, and that actually makes more sense to me. So anyway, and I believe she was a virgin, which gets referred to later. Or is it referring to that? Who knows? But anyway, as the miller told his tale, so it was that later, as the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly white, turned a wider shade of pale. Why? I have no idea. My thought is that she was either drunk, she died, I don't think that's the case, or he's coming on to her and she's not interested. Who knows? But it turned a wider shade of pale for some reason. But it's so mysterious. This kind of writing allows you to transpose, project your own thoughts or feelings or emotions or images onto it. And I love that about this song. So then it comes back down, next phrase, she said there is no reason and the truth is plain to see. There is no reason and the truth is plain. No reason for what? And the truth is plain to see. No reason to stay together and that truth is plain to see. So she's leaving him. And he says, and the truth is plain to see. I wandered through my playing cards and would not let her be. So is he playing her? Going through his playing cards, trying to figure out how to get her into bed, how to have sex. And he wouldn't let her be. He wouldn't let her go. He wouldn't let her be one of 16 Vestal virgins. First time I heard this, I'm like, what? One of 16 Vestal virgins who were leaving for the coast. Okay. Okay. So, way back when, I heard somebody else say this once, that Vestal virgins were what they called airline stewardesses at the time for a certain airline or whatever. I don't know. So a Vestal virgin leaving for the coast, but why virgin? And was she a virgin? Was he trying to have sex with a virgin? Who knows? But it's really evocative. So he achieves that. One of 16 Vestal virgins who were leaving for the coast, and although my eyes were open, they might have just as well been closed. So, in other words, yeah, he was seeing everything, but he's blind. He's blind to what's going on. She's leaving him. She's a Vestal virgin leaving for the coast. Who knows? So I just love all of that. I mean, it's just extraordinary. Something happened. What happened? I mean, virgin, not a virgin, sex, no sex. He's not dealing with it. She's leaving him. Who knows? But it's so exquisite. It's so exquisitely, mysteriously written that I just love it. Always have loved it. So there are two other verses on this that are not on the original that came on the album. Those are just two verses with, on the original album with that chorus. And so it was that later it's played 3 times at the end of that first album, and the song on the first album, and it goes on for like almost 6 minutes. The whole song goes on for 6 minutes, of course, with the organ and everything in the background. So that's it. I'm not going to go over the last 2 verses because, frankly, it gets into sort of Greek mythology and other stuff. It just gets even wilder and crazier, and you're like, what? I mean, he's got the first line on there is, she said, "I'm home on shore leave." So that actually brings me back to the flight attendant. I don't know. So who knows? But anyway, all of that said, I don't know how many verses they're going to get into on this, but I just know that I'm really looking forward to it, hearing what Brooker's voice sounds like still. Hopefully they'll have the organ in here. Just can't wait to see what they do with the musicality. So let's jump into this Denmark performance in 2006. Oh, what a lovely setting. So here we go, folks. Let's enjoy, right? Violins, baby, violins. The cello. I like that thematic. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Almost makes you think of a Beethoven concerto, doesn't it? Exquisite preamble.
We skip the life and tango.
Wow. All right, I want to back it up and hear his voice again. That just kind of came on so quickly. I thought we were going to have some organ playing before, so it just kind of blew me away. His voice has that lovely, older sort of growl to it that David Gilmour got when he got older as well. I love it. Okay, here we go.
We skip the life and tango. Turn cartwheels across the floor.
Lovely.
I was feeling kind of seasick. But the crowd called out for more.
His voice is exquisite. Love the piano.
The room was humming harder.
Nice.
As the ceiling flew away. When we called out for another drink, the waiter brought a tray. And so we
that again with his voice and the piano accentuating it. I'm just loving this so far with the violins coming in with the emotional moments. And I'm not sure they're going to have an organ here, but the piano backing him up is exquisite and his voice is amazing. Let's listen to that again.
As the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned to water, shade of pale.
Ah, good. Can't have this song without the organ. Or the drums.
She said there is no reason, and the truth is plain to see. But I wanted through with my playing cards. Would not let it be. 2016 Vestal Virgins who were leaving for the coast. That her face at first just ghostly turned to water, shade of pale. Just ghostly, turn the wide, shade of Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
I got freaking chills up and down my legs on that several times, including right now. That was better than I could have even imagined. It was so amazing. Goodness gracious, brilliant, brilliant, everything brilliant. His voice, the piano was a nice touch. The organ was gorgeous. The drum work was great. The orchestra, oh my God, violins, cellos, horns, the choral backup on this. That's also what gave me chills there towards the end. I mean, this was extraordinary. His voice, the way he pulled, lengthened out those consonants and vowels at the end of sentences with his lovely, gravelly voice now. His voice is just extraordinary. So much emotion, that plaintive delivery that he has. I mean, just an exquisite man, an exquisite voice. Gosh, what else? Just, I mean, mesmerizing. I mean, I was mesmerized the entire time. I just kept wanting to shout out, yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, yes. I mean, it was just so amazing. Oh, I wish I knew who wrote the orchestral element on this. Maybe Keith did that, or one of the guys did that. I don't know, but gosh, what else on that? I really liked how the piano accentuated his voice, how he was playing it to give more impact to the vocal delivery, especially at the end of sentences. Just terrific. I mean, and the minute prelude on this to warm it up. And then he just comes in immediately without any organ preamble at all, and just kind of, you saw, I was surprised. I mean, wow. And his voice surprised me. I love it. Goodness gracious. I'm just not sure what else to say on this, except that I guess I will say that if you can make that song any better than the original, this is one way to do it. It gives it more texture, gives it more really sort of melody and almost sort of mysterious melancholy in a way. I don't know, but it was more, for me, it was a little bit more moving than the sort of almost solo organ in a way in the original. I think I like this even more, and I didn't think I would be saying that. Yeah. So, my God, hats off. Simply wonderful. Procol Harum and the orchestra. I wish I knew the name of the orchestra. I apologize on that. If y'all will let me know, I'd appreciate it. This was 2006 in Denmark, 15 years ago. Goodness gracious. So let me know what y'all think, and I'll look forward to your comments, including the lyrics if you like. So just let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye now.